being ugly is cool. I don't really believe in like anything actually being ugly. I feel like the only thing I would categorize as ugly is like personality traits, like being, mean and being judgmental. Like that's ugly. That's a really ugly energy to be in. It even feels ugly and disgusting to be in that energy. It's very much low vibrational. But to call something alive and living and something with a soul like ugly, like a person ugly, like something with a soul ugly is kind of insane. I got this download a few months ago, and I think it started like last year when I took a trip to Canada, and I went with my boyfriend, who at the time we had only been dating for like 3 months. And so I don't know why, but I was very in the energy of like hyper focusing on my appearance and what I looked like, and trying to make sure, I'm like really pretty and like perfect, and I don't know, that whole kind of vibe. And going to Canada kind of changed me in a way, because like when you see these amazing beautiful landscapes that are so much bigger than you, and you're literally thrown in nature. Like Canada is so beautiful. We did like the whole nature part of Canada, like my family and I. And I don't know, it's crazy like what will happen to you when you just spend time in nature and you look at rivers and you spend time next to a river and you throw a rock, and it's just everything kind of puts itself into perspective. Like I'm getting goosebumps. That trip was so beautiful, and I live in Miami, so it's kind of hard to feel that same type of nature, like the lakes and the mountains and the rivers and the big rocks and like the trails. Like it's kind of hard to feel connected here because there's so many people around. Like even here, like right now in my beautiful little kind of backyard, there's like a house back there, there's a house back there. I hear people talking. But like over there, it's like even though there may be people on those trails or whatever, there's this big sense of just you and the nature and the water and the trees and the leaves and the flowers, and just such a reminder of your true form, which is, um, you are an animal, like we are mammals. So something happened to me on that trip where I got this like really big like download, and it was like, oh well, your appearance is actually like not even something that should be super, something you should like hyper focus on. But of course, I live in a time where everyone is chronically online, and I live in a city, and everything is just about being like pretty, attractive, hot, all of those things. Even for guys, obviously, it's like this for all of us. And I don't think being online helps, because we see people with these filters and they're edited, and everyone's getting injections, and yeah, it's just like kind of hard to just feel like a little kid again. You know what I mean? Like for me, I remember in my childhood, like, you never really think about how you look when you're a kid. You're in your freaking turquoise shirts and your neon pink like tank top, and you got this new bracelet from Toys R Us, and like that's your hyper fixation right now, and like your toys, and I don't know, like that whole thing. I just miss that feeling. Your hair everywhere. Maybe you didn't like brush your teeth. Like you felt the sunset coming because you were playing outside. Like maybe like your knees had soil on it because you fell. Um, your socks are mismatching. There's just this whimsical energy to it. And recently, I've been really trying to get back into that. And I had an even deeper download actually, like a couple months ago, because when I went to Canada, it was like a year ago. I had a deeper download, and it was like I was hanging out with this like group of girls and whatever, like they're super cool and like super nice. And I remember, like, I don't know, there was like these instances where however it aligned, like we weren't all kind of like ready. We weren't like wearing like makeup. And I don't know what happened to my brain, but when we were all hanging out and like no one was like, clearly no one was like wearing makeup, like it just like, it just like, it just unlocked something like insane in my mind. Like I became like so hypnotized, so surprised, so obsessed with just seeing like their skin and seeing them for who they really are. Like there was something so much more beautiful to see them like not all ready and all like makeup, lipstick, hair, whatever. There was something so like hot about them like not being like all dressed up and ready versus like the all dressed up and ready. And I don't know, I guess it's because when you're all dressed up and ready, there's something like a little boring about that. Like, okay, like there's nothing really like interesting, there. Because everything is just so perfect and everything is just so done up. There's really nothing to think about there. But when you see something without makeup and they're with someone without makeup and you see them without their hair done or their outfit on and they're just wearing like what is most comfortable, is just something is so beautiful and so deeply interesting about that. And that's when it finally like hit me that being like quote unquote ugly is really freaking cool. Ever since like that moment, I've also had like other like little moments that kind of really got me into this who I am now. I've kind of built this thing inside of me where it's like, I don't know, I'll be hanging out with my boyfriend. My boyfriend is like the person that I see the most. And obviously like around a man, all that stuff, like you have this like indoctrinized, or I don't even know if that's the word, like ancestral, this like deep rooted like, oh, always be hot, like always look your best and blah blah blah. And ever since I got like these downloads of being ugly is cool, being ugly is like interesting and just fucking awesome, I started just like, it just makes me feel so much more free with him. It makes me feel just like a lot more honest in myself and in my energy. Like, okay, like if I look like shit, I don't know, it's pretty cool. Like I'm not hyper focused on like how he's going to like perceive like how my face looks, or how this looks, or how that looks, or how this looks, or how that looks, or how this looks, or how that looks. I just let him fully see me. I just let him fully see me. As natural as it can possibly get. And I don't know why, like, when I'm in that energy where I'm not really caring, like, how I look, like, how I show up in that moment is the way I'm showing up. And don't get me wrong, like, oh my God, if you follow me on Instagram, like, you see that I love putting fits on. I love my makeup done. I love the hair. Like, I love looking like a doll. But on a day-to-day basis, for some reason, like, just being like fully myself makes me feel like sexier in a way. Now that is like a whole different other type of thing that I don't even know if you're going to understand. But for some reason, like showing someone like who you fully are, like hair messy, you have like a pimple here, whatever it is, just the thing, just basically not touching anything and just being like the full human animal that you are. I don't know why, but what it does to my energy is that it makes me feel like so much more like attractive. It makes me feel like sexier. I like laugh more and I'm playful more and I make more jokes and like it's just, I just feel like really good in it because it's so freeing. That's really what it is. It's like that caveman energy vibe. I don't know, like, because imagine if you're constantly carrying the constantly carrying the weight of like, how does this person perceive me, or how good do I look, or how not good do I look, is like, it's something you physically have to carry. It feels like something you physically carry even on your mind, and so it takes up more space rather than that space being taken up with the present moment and just, thinking, well, how does my body feel right now, how does my breath feel right now. And I think it maybe makes me feel like sexier or whatever, is because when I'm just in my full expression, like not done up, just showing up how I'm showing up that day. I don't know why it just makes me feel like so hot and attractive, and I think it's because it's very unique and it's very authentic. Like I really feel like extremely original because that pimple that I have on my cheek that day is extremely original to that day. It's very present. And I don't know if this has to do with just who I am and my personality, because I really like things to be a certain way. Like aesthetics for me are very important. Like especially when it comes to like movies and animation, even food, like for example, like animation, like it physically hurts to watch things that are like super CGI vibes. Like I love stop motion. I love stop motion animation, like things that just feel very real, very authentic. Um, I love Tim Burton movies. I love like Edward Scissorhands, and I love, The Nightmare Before Christmas. But I don't like Wednesday, like on Netflix. That feels so like Netflix series vibes. It doesn't have that original vibe to it. I love Tim Burton's take on Batman. It just feels like very much like a story rather than like the seriousness of the other newer ones. I love animation that is hand drawn. Oof, do not even get me started on like what Disney has been doing with their animation recently. Ooh, I think it's awful. It physically hurts. So something about just something being like very real is what really attracts me. So yeah, maybe it's just like who I'm evolving into, and I don't know what that's going to look like in the future, but I feel like if you guys know me, you guys also know that I think being healthy is like important. So what I mean by being ugly is cool, I mean like I'm only saying ugly because it's like our society's definition of ugly, which is like basically like people think they're ugly and that's why they're getting like Botox, and that's why they get like plastic surgery or like the preventative Botox. Like it's because they think they're ugly. It's because they think that there is something wrong with just the natural occurrence of your human form. So that's why I'm saying like being ugly is cool. And I'm hearing that this is kind of like a trend now. Like people are not getting nose jobs and stuff like that, and looking like fully authentic and all of that is like just looking fully you is like coming now to be like in. Um so I think that's like a great trend to have, but that's how it should have always been. But I understand how hard like societal pressure can be, and the pressure to always look pretty and beautiful, especially when we're all chronically online. Maybe you just need a trip to Canada and to hang out around like cool, authentic people, and then I don't know, things in your mind will change. LOL. But nothing with a soul is ugly. I don't think anything that earth created is ugly, or yeah, just anything like with a soul. And yeah, I don't know if I finished that thought where um I was saying like what I mean by being like ugly is like I only call it ugly because it's what society thinks would be like ugly, which is like not perfect, which is impossible. Perfection is like fake, and that's why people have to do things in order to like achieve that perfection. You are already perfect. And yeah, if you know me, you know, like, I really believe in being healthy, exercising, eating well, and all that stuff. To me, that's just like non negotiable. To me, that is just respecting yourself. Like, eating healthy and exercising is the most human thing that we can do. So, yeah, just, just what we should all try to do is get back to being like human. This is just like a small thought that I just want to add before I end the video, but like I live in Florida, so we have like hurricanes, we have hurricane seasons, and I just like remember like the last hurricane that we had was like Hurricane Irma, which is like the most kind of like serious one for us here in Miami. Um, and there was no like service or whatever, so I would just spend all my day like with my family, candlelight, coloring, painting, um, watching movies, and it was just such a flow state. I felt so at peace. There's something about that little whimsical little life, little cottage core little life with just a little candlelight, eating very like minimal because it's like a hurricane, and like painting and doing those little crafts. Just something feels so good about it. And I don't know why, I just feel like I need to add that, but that's the vibe like I kind of want to like feel every day. I don't want to feel like I'm chronically online and always being influenced by these hundreds of videos that I'm seeing if I like scroll on TikTok for like an hour. Like, it's just so bad. um, but yeah, being ugly is cool. So continue to be you, and yeah, being anything original, which all of us are original. There's no exact replicas of us. I guess like if you're a twin or whatever, but even then, like twins are not even actually identical, and you guys are don't have the same personalities and whatever. But there's something really hot of just, you know, they're just being like one of you. That's like very special. Embrace that full expression of you. And yeah, you only have one life, and this is the person that you landed in. So fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Okay. Till next time. Bye.